Today we'll be showing you part 2 of the mermaid tail tutorial. Please check the description box down below for the link for the crown tutorial as well as the bikini top and part 1 to this video as well. And we will be making the bottom part, the fin, in this video. For today's tutorial, I will be using these 3 different colors of this Red Heart soft yarn. You can use any 4-weight color of your choice. You can use 1 color, you can use 3 colors, you can use 4 colors, it's up to you. The colors that I am using is this watercolors. I will be using the lilac and the turquoise. You will also need a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a stitch marker, and you will also need a tapestry needle to weave in your ends. Okay, so to begin the fin, we are going to start with a slip knot and go ahead and chain up 36 chains, and I will meet you back here. Okay, so here I have my 36 chains. Now into the second chain from the hook, I'm going to go ahead and make a half double crochet. And into each one of the chains going across, go ahead and put 1 half double crochet until you get to the end and meet me back here. Okay, so here I have made it to the end of the row. Now I'm going to chain up 1 and turn, and into that same stitch into the back loop only. We are only going to be working in the back loop. We're going to make a half double crochet, and into the back loop only, you see we have 1 and 2. Into that back loop only is where we're going to be working into each of the stitches all the way down, but I want you to stop. As you see, this is the last stitch. We are not going to work into that because on this side here, we are going to be working our decreases. So stop 2 stitches before the end here, and I will meet you back. Okay, so as you see here, we have 1, 2, and 3 stitches. Now what we want to do is change our colors. So we were working with 3 different colors while doing the tail, or the body, so we are going to want to use the next color. So we want to cut our yarn. Now into this 3rd stitch, we're going to start by yarning over and put our hook into that space. Grab our next color and pull that in. Yarn over and pull through both loops. Okay, and here's our, see how we have 2 stitches left? We're not going to go into the very last one. So we're going to yarn over and do a half double crochet right there. Okay, so now what we want to do is chain up 1 and turn. So we are not going to go into the last stitch. So if you would like to, grab your stitch marker and just go ahead and put it on this side here that we're skipping that last stitch, because on this side, this is where we want it to be flat, so we will always work into the last stitch. But when we come back down to this side, we will be decreasing, so we will be skipping that last stitch. So go ahead and turn your work, yarn over, and into that first spot, we are going to work a half double crochet all the way back down to the other side, all the way to the last stitch. So go ahead and do this, and I will meet you back at the end of this row. Okay, so as you see, we have 1 more stitch left. Don't want to miss that one. Okay, so now we want to chain up 1 and turn, because remember, we're not decreasing, so we want to make sure we get all the stitches. And now into that first loop, working all the way back, we are going to work the half double crochet all the way until you see this is our last stitch here. We're going to skip that stitch. So working into this one, we want to do a color change. So go ahead and stop and meet me here, and I will show you the color change with our third color, and then I will leave you guys to do this portion of the decrease by yourself. So go ahead and work all the way to the end of the row, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so as you see, I have 2 stitches left. Now I want to yarn over, go into the back loop, and before we draw up that string, we want to go ahead and cut and leave a tail. Grab our third color, so for me this is going to be the purple. Going to pull that through, and now with the working yarn, I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And I'll show you a trick that I like to do so that I do not have to sew in my ends. I can just simply clip them. So here we are. This is going to be the last row that I show you for the decrease. We are going to chain up 1 and turn our work. Now you see the tail is on the front side, so just go ahead and move that around to the back, and then I like to work over the top of that. So remember, we are on the stitch marker side, so we did skip that last stitch. So we're going to yarn over and into that first spot. We are going to work our first half double crochet, and we're going to work into every stitch across on the back loops. And I'm just going to work over the top of my tail for a few stitches, and then that way I will simply be able to cut that off. So each time we do this, we are decreasing our stitches. So remember, on this side we are going into the last stitch. On the side with our stitch marker, we are changing colors when we are doing the decrease and then working back. So we want to do this until we have a total of 16 half double crochets. So go ahead and continue to decrease. Once you get down to 16 half double crochets, meet me back here at this video and I will show you how to go on to part 2 of the fin. Okay guys, so now I am down to having only 15 half double crochet. As you see, I was decreasing on this side only. Now what we want to do is we want to start increasing, going back up the other side. But what we want to do first is just do 2 more rows, so 1, 2 rows of just half double crochets along those 15. So with your new color, go ahead and chain up 1 and turn, and working into the back loop only like we have been doing. We're going to work our way down with no increases, no decreases, and then on the way back we are going to go ahead and start with our increase. So let's work this 1 row together. So let's see, there's 1, 2, here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I ended up going down to 15 instead of 16. It is okay. It does not have to be exact. So chain up 1 and turn. And now we're going to work our way back down to our decreased side. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back here to show you how to start working the opposite side of our fin. Okay, so now we want to make sure especially that we are going into this last stitch instead of skipping that. So now we actually want to work our way back up to 36 stitches. So we're actually going to place 1 more half double crochet into that last stitch, making that an increase. You can change your colors. I kind of changed between 2 and 4 rows, just however you want to do your color change for the tail. So go ahead and chain up 1, and on the way back we do not increase. So again, you see this is the flat side. We're going to work all the way to the end and chain up 1 and turn, and I'll meet you back here one more time to show you how we're going to work our increase. Okay, so here I am. Again, we want to make sure we are going back into this last stitch, and I want to put another half double crochet into that space, increasing. So then I will chain up one and turn and work one half double crochet all the way back. So continue doing that, increasing in the last stitch on the side that we were decreasing. So when we get to this side, you're going to work your increase. So go ahead and do this until you are back up to your 36 stitches. I will meet you back here and show you how to place this for sewing onto the body of your project. Okay, so here I have gone ahead and done my increases on this side, and I'm back up to my 38 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and chain up one and leave a little bit of a tail because we are going to want to sew that in. We will cut and pull through. And so that is all we have to do for the tail. So now we are going to connect this and attach it to our tail. Before we do that, I do like to either take an end if I have one, or grab and cut off an extra piece of yarn and just kind of thread that up through the center portion right in the middle, and that'll kind of help so that we can string this tight. This is just an extra step that I like to do. It's not necessary, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. So go ahead and grab the body piece that you had made from the previous video and meet me back here. Sorry for how this looks, you guys, but what I'm going to actually do is grab a couple stitch markers just to hold this in place, and I'm going to find the center mark and just kind of scrunch this up a little bit and figure out where I want my placement to be. So I think I'm going to want this edge one right about here. And then I'm going to mark where we are going to put the center at. Right in here. And you guys can just kind of eyeball where you think it's going to fit best and how it will look best. And I just kind of rough estimate this like that. Okay, so we now kind of have an idea of where we want it to go. So if you had done what I did with the drawstring in the middle, we do want to go ahead and find that piece of yarn. And at this point, the reason why I did that is to cinch it up in the middle. So all of this, as we go through, we're going to scrunch it up as we sew, but this will just pull this through in the center, and then you can go ahead and tie a knot with that, just like that. All right, so grab whatever color you decide you're going to use for sewing and cut off quite a bit of yarn, just like that. Now at this point, I just figure out where that first stitch is, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull this through and tie a knot. Now if you prefer to use a tapestry needle, you can go ahead and do it that way. But I just simply go through and I'm going to pull this piece that I made in and out, just kind of making sure that this is scrunched. So then I'm going to put my hook on the opposite side, and going through both layers, you want to make sure that you are going through and just pull that through. So continue to weave and sew this onto your body, and I'll show you what that looks like when I am done. Okay guys, and this is what it looks like when you are all finished and you have it attached. This is the back side, this is the front side, or vice versa, however you would like. If you did go ahead and make the crown and top, then this is what the whole set looks like. Please check the description box down below for the crown tutorial as well as the top tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment down below, and let me know what you guys thought. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.